What's going on, guys? So I finally finished my 1000th Mephisto run and edited the video, and here we go. 1000 Mephisto runs in Project Diablo 2. Each run took me about maybe like a minute and a half, so it was about 2 or 3 times longer than the 1000 Trav runs video I did. So on the first run here, we got Thunderstroke, which was 229% ED, and 3 to Javelin and Spear skills. So decent. On run 4, we find unique Greater Talons and some rare boots. I would prefer 3 res, but 2 res is not bad. So 1 to martial arts skills, not great on those. Run 17, we find Eth Chance Guards, 36% MF and 27% ED. So I didn't really need them because I already had them, but good find nonetheless. Run 33, we find Gravespine and Ormus Robes, 14, 10, 13. So not great, but 3 to Warmth and the Regenerate Mana 12%. So middle of the road Ormus. And Mage Fist, again, another mediocre unique there. Run 44, we have a set ring, which is usually Cathin's, like 80% of the time. This time, though, I got Bull Kathos Wedding Deathband ring, and 23% ED, 14% lightning resist, and 5% physical damage taken reduced. So that was definitely solid. Okay, this one was a little unique here. Run 49, I found a low rune, just randomly in the Endurance of Hate, which I think is about 1.5 high runes in the Project Diablo 2 price list for runes. So that's pretty solid. Run 51. This is where we have the Jaw rune, which is insane. I never found a Jaw rune before, or a Bear rune. So this is insane to me. Picked it up immediately, and that's about 2 high runes. Run 69, we have a unique ring, and this happened to be Nature's Peace. Pretty low on the resists, but it was my first Nature's Peace ring I found. Run 79, we find Wrist Sword. And this happens to be the Jade Talon, 2 to Martial Arts, 1 to Shadow Disciplines. Run 80, we have some unique gauntlets, Frostburn. A little bit of a tweak in Project Diablo 2, but low on the scale. We find Nosferatu's Coil on run 83 out of the chest there. Run 86, we find 2 armors, Ancient Armor and Wire Fleece. And one is Silks of Victor, F Ancient Armor. This brings me back to the original Diablo 2 days. And also Gladiator's Bane, which I actually put on my barb, which is pretty solid for defense, especially if you don't have any good rune words yet. And Cannot Be Frozen is always good. Run 98, we find a Grand Charm in the chest, which is 1 to martial arts skills, 5 to strength. And I don't have an assassin, but you might be able to get like a pull rune or something for that. Run 210. So I didn't really find anything actually from run 100 to 200. But I find this Shadow Killer Battle Cestus. I don't really know if there's a use for it, but I went to 4 to Shadow Disciplines and 250% ED. So I guess that's a decent item. 233, we find a Nagel Ring, which is 30% MF. I had two better ones, so it wasn't that great. 263, we find Alma Negra Shield, 2 to skills, 210% ED, so perfect on ED, and middle of the road on the enhanced damage and attack rating. So run 267, we find Set Chaos Armor, which is Trang's. First time I found this armor, so that was cool. Plus 2 to Blood Warp, which was even better. So I transfer that over to my Necro. Run 272, we find Shape-Shifting Skills and 39 to life, which is the best Grand Charm I found to date. And I actually made a Shape-Shifting Druid shortly after that. Run 277. Chance Guards, another 30% to Magic Find. 279, find another Dust Shroud. And the Laying of Hands. 13, 11, 15. So perfect on the cold damage. And then 3 to teleport, which is not great. Unless, actually, that would... If you could use it for another character. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but that's... Now I'm thinking I could have transferred to another character to give him teleport. I think that would work? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I'm no expert. I just do a lot of runs here. There we go. 283, we find the Swirling Crystal. Finally, the Oculus. Up until that time, I've been using the Undel's Wisdom. But this was awesome to get 23 res, 2 to all source skills, and I immediately started using this with a Spirit Shield. 294, we get a Heavy Belt, which happened to be Gold Wrap. Lowest on the MF and middle of the road on the Gold Find, so it was better than what I had, so I added it. Actually, I didn't have enough strength to use it. To use the shield. So 302, we found a Jewel, which is cold damage and cold resist, 3 and -5. Not bad. Obviously, we prefer perfect, but good considering I'm a cold source. Run 310, we find a unique demon head. And this is Andy's Visage. 9% life stolen, 139% ED, and 30 strength. Now I think I already had one for my Merc, so I think I think I might have just kept it. Next we find a Matriarchal Javelin, 3 to skills and 238% ED. Another Thunderstroke like we found on run 1. 340, we find a unique Lich Wand and some Battle Gauntlets. Mavs, 46, 9, 16, and then Bone Shade, which was kind of low on the other skills, but first find of that. Run 346, I find an Elder Staff, which is Naj's Puzzler Elder Staff, which is not really useful, especially it's like item level is required level is 78, so I had no real use for that. 350, we find a Lich Wand and a War Belt. Another Bone Shade, unique Bone Shade. And the belt happened to be Thunder God's Vigor. Almost perfect on the strength and vitality. Well, perfect on the vitality, almost perfect on the strength, and I transfer that over to my Zon. Phase Blade 403. This is the first time I found the lightsaber. Middle of the road on the ED and perfect on the Mana Stolen per hit. Next we find a unique ring, and this is the Carrion ring. 8% faster run walk, and this is actually pretty good on my barb because I'm trying to like max out the faster run walk for the pit runs, so that was cool to get. 416, we find an Eldritch Orb. This is actually my first one, I believe. And we rolled 2 source skills, 16, 11, and -2. It wasn't great. I think I might have just slammed it and still didn't make it much better. 419, we found another unique ring. Ravenfrost. I don't know what it is about Project Diablo 2. I've been finding more Ravenfrost than I did in the past playing regular Diablo. I've found maybe 3 or 4 in total. 428, we find a Pole Rune, which is decent. It's worth something. Lowest on the high runes or so. It's not really a high rune. It's like maybe 0.25 or something. A high rune. I gotta check the list. Next, we find Karen Shard Petrified Wand. 2 to summoning skills, 2 to Clay Golem, and 20 replenished life. So, pretty good. Required level 35, so I could use it for my Necro. Run 439. We find a Ornate Armor and Greater Talons, which I already found before, so nothing on the charm. And Griswold, 3 sockets, 2 to Paladin skills, and low in the strength. So there's better rune words, so I mean it's decent, especially with the 3 sockets, but probably can get something like a low rune or something for it. And then Bartuk's Cutthroat, Greater Talons. Middle of the road on the ED, perfect on the martial art skills, and then low on the life stolen per hit. 447. More unique gauntlets. And these obviously are Frostburn again. These are actually perfect though on the resistance for fire and cold, and then OK and ED. 463, we find another unique ring, which is another Nagel, higher on the magic find, 36%. So pretty good, pretty solid. 466. I don't really know if this is worth anything, but first time I found it, so I'm including it in the video. Blood Raven's Charge, 3 perfect on the bow and crossbow skills, and high on the ED, 325%. So could be worth it on my Amazon, which I have not made yet. 41, we find a martial arts skiller, so that brings me to number 2 in the skiller department for martial arts. 49, Sandtrex we find, and 64%, almost perfect on the vitality, 15 perfect on the strength, and almost perfect or high on the poison resist. 509. This is the first time I found this shield. I'm not sure if it's better or worse, being that it's ethereal. But it was low on the enhanced defense, so I don't know if it was worth upping it with the Cohen limb. Find another unique jewel on run 519. Low, and it's lightning, but the lowest it could be, 3 and 3. So not worth too much. Run 547, we find Vampire Bone Gloves. Perfect on the life percent, life stolen, and perfect on the strength, and almost perfect on the life per call. So those are actually pretty solid. I gave them to my Barb. Probably be good on Amazon as well. Got an Io rune and a unique demon head again on run 555. And this one, almost perfect on the strength, perfect on the life stolen, and this actually was a little bit better than when I had on my Merc because it's the percentage life. 562, randomly endurance. I find a Vex rune, which I think is about half a high rune in the value. Run 585 and find another Eldritch Orb, and I find the Geed's unique Grand Charm. 2 to all skills, perfect on the lightning skill, and -9 on the enemy lightning. So that's solid for the, aside from the 2 to all skills instead of 3. 20 and 9 is pretty good for a lightning source. I'm cold, so I can't really use it, but I could look to trade that. And then Geeds is kind of low compared to the one that I had already. I have almost the perfect one, so just dropped it. 592. We find a unique ring and a unique amulet. Oh, and we got Trang's gloves as well. I didn't list that one because I already had them, but perfect on the poison skill damage. That's pretty good. So Eye of the Elich, low on the lifesteal, want all skills, and Nature's Peace. This is a much better one. 3, 3, 3, and 2, and 3 to Oak Sage. So that was pretty awesome. To get, might be good for Ubers for the max resist. Run 600. Never found this before. It's a Trav run, but I did it after one of my Meph runs, and I'm including it. Bear Rune. In my 1000 Trav runs video, I never found a Bear Rune, so Burr, however you pronounce it, Burr Rune. So that was pretty awesome. That's like, I think it's like 2.5 or 3 high runes. 603. We found this Guardian Angel Templar armor. Low on the max resist, but again, might be useful for Ubers, along with that Nature's Peace ring to maximize your resist. Next, I find Water Walk boots. Almost perfect on the enhanced damage and low in the life, though. 652. I find a Cham rune. Another high rune. This is like, I don't know if it's something about Project Diablo 2, but this is the most high runes I think I've ever found in playing Diablo 2. Next we have a Cantor Trophy, which happens to be Trang's shield. And we have kind of low on the stats there, but first time I found this, so. Run 661. We find an embossed plate, which is as well. Middle of the road on the ED and high on the replenish life. What run are we here now? 662. We find another ring, and we find the Viper Magi, which want all skills, and corrupting it, I get actually 25% regenerate mana, which is good, especially for the sorceress, which with warmth that you barely even need the merc to have your the mana regeneration. You could use the Conviction Aura, which I don't have yet, which I have not made, but I have not made my Infinity yet. Next I find an IK Helm. And perfect magic find on that. 682, we find unique Shark Tooth armor, which is Tooth Trail. Perfect on the Deadly Strike, almost perfect on the defense, and decent on the enhanced defense. Run 685. We find another Hierophant Trophy. And this is the Homunculus. 33 res, and perfect on the mana after each kill. What's next here? So 685, 686, we find... Oh, Grand Charm. Yep. And this one is another passive and magic skiller. This one with some life, so decent. I would have preferred bow and crossbow, but you know. Next I found another Ravenfrost. I think this is my maybe 5th one now. Then another unique ring on 727, which is another Carrion Wing. Low on the faster run walk and life stolen per hit, but it was still useful on my barb. 731. I'm including it. I know it's not that high of a rune, but a Maul rune I found. 745. We find a shark skin belt. And in this, it's actually helpful with the chance to pierce. It's actually helpful in the Amazon, especially with max damage and the extra dexterity. Ogre Axe drops in 746, and this is Bone Hue. I don't have much of a use for it, maybe on like a Whirlwind Barb or something, but the Corpse Explosion was pretty fun to play with my barb. 751, we find a unique ring, and this is another Carrion Wind. Carrion Wind, 5 and 4. So low on the stats, but probably my third one I found. 758, we find another Grand Charm. And this one is 1 to all summoning skills. 761, we find an Ohm rune out of a chest. So anytime I do these runs, I'm just gonna continue to open these chests because you can find some good stuff. 763, we get a Necro summoning skiller. Plain skiller. Added to my list. 765, we find more chance cards. And these ones happen to be perfect. So finally I got my first set of perfect chance cards. 784, we find unique Bone Weave boots. And these are Marowak. 1 to Skeleton Mastery instead of the 2, and then perfect on the regenerate mana, but lower on the other stats. Gold Rune, 803. And then back to back, 804, we found a Pole Rune. Run 810. I almost missed it. Good thing this thing showed up on the map. An Rune, which is 22. And 822, we find a unique Rim Shield. 1 to all skills, and 6 to mana after each kill. I would prefer the 2 to all skills because Spirit doesn't give that in Project Diablo 2, but 1 is okay. 827, I find a unique Martel de Fer, which is the Gavel of Pain. Almost perfect on the enhanced damage, 258 out of the 260. But I think I had a better weapon on my barb. 845, we find Kira's Tiara, which is actually, first time I found it was minus 10% on the lightning resist. So I found some pretty good, the Eldritch Orb and that with negative lightning resist, which is pretty solid. Run 866, we find a Hierophant Trophy, Ethereal, and a unique ring. We have Eye of Mordini, which is the mantled ring, and Homunculus, F. Perfect on the enhanced defense, and almost perfect on the resistance. Perfect on the mana after each kill, so almost perfect one. 875, we find a unique Slayer Guard. 2 to all combat skills, 200% ED, and just low on the strength and dex. Decide to corrupt it, or slam it, as they say, and I get 1 socket, which is not great. Randomly, 879, I find a low rune, which is 1.5 high runes. It's always nice finding random things in chests. 884, we find unique Vambraces. Soul Drainers, perfect on the life stolen, and 4% on the mana stolen. Could be good for my Amazon. No attack speed increase, but the chance to pierce is always good. Chance guards, low. This is like the third or fourth ones I found. 907, we find another Ariad's face, which is only 1 to combat skills and lower on the stats. So I've yet to find a solid Slayer guard for my solid Ariad's face for my barb. Next we find another Trang armor, 2 to blood warp again, and that's it for that. 930, we find another Eldritch Orb. And we check it. It is 14, 10, 8, and 20% on the fire, but only 1 to sorcery skill level, so really not great. 956, we find Greater Talons once again. And after I finish killing these guys, 2 to martial skills and 247 ED. 983, out of the same chest we find a Rising Sun amulet, 2 to fire skills and negative 9% fire resist for enemies. It'd be awesome for a fireball sorcerers. And then run 1000, we actually find a Eldritch Orb once again, and Geeds. So the Eldritch Orb is actually 3 to all skills finally, 19 lightning, but only minus 2% on the enemy lightning resist. So there you have it. And the Geeds wasn't great, so I just kept my perfect one. So about every 10 runs I found something good, and I think after all this I had limited space. I mean, we had shared stash, but I didn't know really what was that valuable. So I decided just to take whatever was I had duplicates of and just start corrupting them. So I had this Black Oak Shield, which I got 21 replenished life on, and I actually, one of the things I didn't realize, after the season's over, the characters get removed. I thought they could just play a non-ladder, but I guess Project Diablo 2, they are you could download it as your single player character or something like that. But in any case, I'm super hyped for Diablo 2 Resurrected. I can't wait for that. And I'll be playing that when it comes out, and in the meantime probably playing Burning Crusade Classic. Can't wait for that either. So that's really about it. And I'll put the timestamps below, and thank you for watching.